Hello. What's going on? Okay, so today, as the title says, we're going to be talking about something I think is important, which is men being involved in bettering their own placement in the world relative to other demographic groups, and fixing societal problems that stem from problems inside the I don't know about community, but like between men and other groups is what I think that's an important topic. And it's been something that I've been thinking about for a long time, so I wanted to talk about it, right? So as the title suggests, I do believe that men feel we can go big cam here, I guess. I do believe that men feel. We can turn the music down a little bit. I'm not sure what it sounds like specifically, but I do believe that men feel left behind by feminism, and I think that feeling is, for the most part, pretty valid. If we look at like the mainstream feminism that we all get inundated with on a daily basis, right? Like today's feminism, it's not very male centric. I think we can all agree with this. It's not very male centric. It doesn't really have men in mind when we're when it's talking about problems in our society. Everybody knows the smash the freaking patriarchy, bro, which sounds cool, sounds good to me. But yes, I do indeed think. I do a lot of think, okay? I told you this before. I'll say it again. I'll say it every single stream. Everybody is right. Everybody is cringy except for me, and I'm always right. All right? This is no meme. We have many a meme here, but this is not one. So I think in like mainstream pop feminism that we get from the from virtue signaling companies like Google or Facebook, whatever, or Pornhub, changing their icons to pink for a woman's event, or changing their icons to rainbow colors when like gay pride month comes along, or changing it to an ominous sleek black when black history month rolls around. We don't normally talk about men specifically. Well, men are advantaged in a lot of ways, and through society have been advantaged in a lot of ways. I think this is true. I don't think this is like terribly controversial. Now, I think for a lot of people it might be, but this does not mean that men don't have problems that I think should be addressed. And I think a lot of the disillusion that comes from a lot of men towards feminism is propagated by that. Burb, I feel you, bud. In the context of like pop feminism, they're not really trying to push an agenda, as in they really care about women or black people specifically. You know, it's just advantageous for them. It's just very advantageous for them. I mean, we all know Volkswagen made Jeeps and stuff for the Third Reich. I mean, were they forced to? Probably. Did they still do it anyways and not throw too much of a fuss? I mean, indeed, it was profitable. Lots of companies do a lot of bad things because it's profitable. Just right now, you know, having Having a woman as a protagonist seems to be something that's profitable to do, gets a lot of buzz. Having like an all black cast gets a lot of buzz. So all of these things propagate this idea. I don't want to say like erasing men, because men definitely aren't being erased. I don't. That's like a dumb anti-SJW talking point. They aren't being erased, but in a lot of instances, I feel like them and their problems, well, us and our problems, are being overlooked in society, just because, well, a lot of our media comes from big companies, right? And big companies don't do massive introspection. They don't do like theoretical analysis. They don't do any of that stuff, right? They look at what's trendy, what's popular, what's going to get them clicks and money and time in this attention economy, and then they run with it, right? So if that means having a woman host some big show and calling it, oh, it's the first woman who hosts this big show, how cool, how great, we have a vagina on stage, isn't that amazing? That they're just gonna do it, right? So one thing that I did like was the that like really controversial like Gillette commercial, because that did talk about a lot of problems that men face in society, and I think that's really important. Now, obviously, the cringe lords jumped all over that, and they said, well, it's because they're really dumb, for one, but they don't understand. I think it's because, for a lot of reasons, right? And centrists, like enlightened centrists, love to play this meme a lot, where it's like, oh, the right and the left, they're both the same. Look at freaking Stalin, right? Stalin killed people and Hitler killed people, so they're both equally bad. That's very untrue. Like communist China today, the Soviet Union, horribly bad, authoritarian, like death states that like force their workers into force their citizens into horrible situations, famines, gulags, stuff like that, media censorship, all of these horrible, terrible things, right? None of them did the Holocaust, right? They didn't. Nazi Germany is still far worse, and neo-Nazis and white nationalists are still far worse than anything that Antifa has drummed up in the last 75 years, probably. You know what? Actually, there's no problem. In the last 100 years, the right, like right-wing extremism in general, has done worse things for the world than Antifa or anyone on the far left has done for a long, long time. So they're not both equally bad. I ran off on a tangent. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm not gonna lie to you. Where was I going with that? I need to get my thoughts in order. I'm a little tired. I had a really long day at work. It was kind of a bad day. Everyone's really upset. You ever have one of those days at work where everyone's just like extremely upset about everything that's going on? It's kind of hard to keep my thoughts in order when there's no chat. I don't know. It sounds like the opposite, right? Like I feel like I run off on tangents. I don't know. Chat helps me keep up, but we wait for people to get in today. I just want what's best for men, right? I just want what's best for men. And the right and the left, they agree. We agree on a couple things, all right? I'm not talking about the establishment left. I'm talking about the extremes. I'm talking about like Richard Spencer and freaking Noam Chomsky, right? Or Richard Wolff. They agree on a couple things. And I think disenfranchisement of the working class, that's why it's so appealing to a lot of people when they diagnose the problems, right? They can tell you what the problems are. Donald Trump won because he talked about actual problems and things people were actually going through. When he's like, healthcare sucks, we're in all these freaking wars, all the politicians are looking outwards and no one really cares about the average person just suffering in the streets, right? All of these things are true. and the far left and right both agree that these are problems that are happening. Well, it depends on some certain demographics of people whether they really care about them or not, but in general they'll agree on that, but they don't agree with the diagnosis of the problems, right? And so I think both like academic feminism, I'm not talking about pop, like sugar pop feminism, I'm talking about actual like academic feminism that goes over like research and papers and surveys of how people are feeling in the world, and longitudinal studies and stuff like that, who talk about how men and women are feeling about their roles in society today. And they'll agree that a lot of men have a lot of problems. I mean, depression, suicide, anxiety, not feeling a place in the world, just economic struggles in general. Lots of things get men down. Just lots of things get people down in general. So they diagnose these problems, but I feel like I don't feel like, I know they deal with them in different ways. Because we can talk about like the incel community, right? Super toxic incel communities where they'll just tell you to kill yourself. They'll post actually, I'm gonna fix my light. Give me 1 second. I have to fix my light. Oh no, it's acting up. That's a little. Yeah, that's better. Let me move it up a little bit. It's like the hot spot on my face was a little too hot. All right. Like the incel community, right? They'll diagnose a lot of problems that men are feeling. Social atomization, which is, have us completely separated from each other in a way that after the Industrial Revolution has been almost completely unknown to the human species, right? Just the what conservatives will call the nuclear family, which is kind of a new invention. Lots of people were raised communally, and even in poorer communities still, you'll see a lot of people talk about how they're raised communally. My parents talk about that, how they just knew everybody on the block, everybody raised each other, everybody went to each other's houses, and they grew up in the projects in Long Island and Brooklyn. But that's not how most people grow up, because most people aren't poor like they were, and most people don't live the same way we lived back in the 1800s. So people are lonelier than ever. This is a fact. I think there was this study that came out, and it was about how men are getting less and less likely of being in sexual relationships or relationships in general. Everyone's being less likely of being in a relationship in general, but men are falling. That rate is falling way faster than it is for women and other groups. So, I think it was just they were specifically talking about like straight men and women relationships. How men that rate is falling much further, and men feel way more lonely. So I don't think these things are accurately being talked about in like big feminist circles, and these problems definitely aren't being addressed by society in a way that is conducive to really helping people's interests, right? And I think that's really sad, because we all know the MRA talking points. This many men die in war compared to women. Well, I mean, yeah, like for a long time, women haven't even been like allowed in the military. I think it was like after like part of World War II, and then a little after that, women weren't even allowed in the military. Obviously, most of it's men, so most men are gonna die. Nice one. Same with jobs that like really heavy demanding physical labor. Like a lot of women weren't let into those areas, or highly socially what's the word I'm looking for? Like they're discouraged, highly socially discouraged from participating in those. So obviously they're not going to be there. But things that are more different, like the suicide rate. I think far greater amount of suicides in this country, specifically America, are men, right? And why is that? I think it's a combination of a lot of problems. You know, men feeling more lonely. It's harder for us to make social relations, right? Intrapersonal skills aren't really pushed on us. I don't know if you guys know this, but women have a much easier time making friends. I think if you polled, I haven't seen a poll of this or a study of this or anything, but I feel like if you poll most women, they'll have a much higher number of people that they could go to. If you ask the question, like, how many people in your life would you feel comfortable going to if a serious traumatic incident happened in your life to help talk about and console with? I feel like women have a much higher number than men do. I think a lot of men just don't even have friends at all. They have like work acquaintances maybe, or people they see on the street wherever they go out. There's that, I don't know, some nice person at the pizza shop or something, or you go into Walmart and there's this worker there. He's cool, I guess. We talk every once in a while, but not real friends, like friends, right? Women have much tighter and better social groups, and I feel like a lot of that is due to social conditioning, right? Because we all know the classic, like, man up. I feel like a lot of the times men expressing their emotions in any way that I think a lot of therapists would conclude as healthy is really discouraged, right? Lots of times being emotional in any sort of way or experience, or it's either played for laughs. Things like sexual assault of men and actual assault of men is played for laughs, and men crying, or just like super serious, really weird thing, like a woman starts crying, oh, okay, whatever. A man starts crying, holy crap, what's going on? Because it's just not seen as normal. And I don't think that's right. I think that's kind of unhealthy to see crying as not normal at all. Or like expressing your emotions. I think there's 100% a way for you to express your emotions in a very healthy manner. And I think I'm trying to get all my thoughts in line because I have a lot of things I want to talk about, like being just like modern day sort of masculinity. Okay, I think I have it right. Due to just like pop feminism almost completely forgetting about men's struggles has led to a situation where men's struggles are seen as more trivial, and I also feels it plays into toxic masculinity when it comes to, they'll just get over it, right? Women aren't seen to just, aren't expected to just get over like sexual harassment or anything, or get over being like assaulted or anything. That's serious. That's serious business, right? But like a dude getting like the crap beat out of him on the street by like some chick, oh, he probably did something wrong. He can take it, whatever. That's not okay. That's not okay. My bad. Domestic abuse in any direction is absolutely horrible, but a lot of it is played for laughs. And there are lots of feminists who go out and talk about it, but I feel like it's overlooked. And that is like really neglected. And I think that's really sad because I think especially us on the left should definitely empathize with this and definitely actively seek out these people to help them better their lives, because they'll get sucked into they'll just get sucked into really bad places because those Those places are gonna feel their need to have their problems listened to and feel validated, right? The only problem with that is that they get sucked in and then they're given something else to blame, right? You know, you take a dude who's coronavirus. Do you have the coronavirus? You better get out of my chat if you have the coronavirus. Don't get me sick, you piece of garbage. You probably do. Probably. You don't leave the house. You probably did. You probably don't. I don't know. There was this chick who came through. You do not leave the house. There was this chick who came through Drivethru today, and she was like hacking up a storm. I was like, nah, dude. I'm not messing with this one. I'm not touching this one. I put my gloves on. I stayed away from her. I had to take her money, which was sad. And I like washed my hands and did hand sanitizer all up my arms. I'm not playing with it. Not one bit. I had my whole station sanitized after that. Absolutely not. I don't play those games. Get out of here. She was like, can I have a milkshake? I'm like, bro, get out of here. Wait, you're on the East Coast. No, you're on the West Coast. You're on the West Coast. You probably have the coronavirus, dude. If you're sick, you got the coronavirus. Sorry. My bad. I'll miss you, bud. You're always fun. You're fun to talk to sometimes. What should you do? I don't know. Suffer, die. That's what most people seem to be doing. You need to live your life, bro. I mean, you made it like what, 13 years? I think you'll be okay. That's enough. That's all the time I've got. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you ever get to ask out that girl? Time to put another 300 hours in Gungeon. See ya. Sorry, bud. I hope you enjoy those last 300 hours. They won't go like the first 5,000. I'll tell you that much. But I've been derailed. I've been 100% derailed. Right. They'll be getting like scapegoated, right? Lots of people, lots of things in society. If we don't help these people, if we don't bring them, you only have 150 hours. Oh, I think I have like 130. So we're not even that far apart. If we don't help them out and bring them to like a better place, they're gonna be sucked in by places like incel communities, right? I don't know if any of you guys have ever been into an incel community, but it's one of the saddest places I've ever been in my entire life. It's actually terrible. It's incredibly sad. It's incredibly sad, right? Oh, your phone's at 10%? No problem. Charge a little boy. He needs you. He needs your help. Like people, like these dudes are completely lost, without any sense of purpose, without any sense of person. Their views on masculinity has completely been warped and distorted to just unrecognizable realms, and their perception of themselves is the same perception that you get when you puff out your shirt and like tuck your head in to give yourself like a quadruple chin, and then look at yourself through 15 funhouse mirrors, and that's how they see themselves. And it's really sad, and they'll get sucked in to these sorts of places, and they're gonna go all, and a lot of them don't come out, right? It's really sad because there was this one quote about half truths being better than full lies. I think, but like they're being fed half truths, right? Like I said, they'll be diagnosed the problem, like actual problems in society, like men feeling like they have no purpose in the world. Lots of men feeling like they have no place. They feel left behind by feminism. They feel left behind by society, and they feel like their problems aren't actually being listened to, right? And And the communities that they'll fall into will be like, hey bud, I feel you. We feel the same problem. The problem is society, which is true. It is society. But what's the real problem in that society? They'll say things like, it's the freaking it's the duplicitous femoid who cares more about getting railed by Jackson's 20-inch salami schlong for like the next 30 years of her life, while you, the normal nice guy, gets like the scraps and or nothing. So this is your true problem. Also, you're forever ugly, and you'll never be seen as anything but like a stepping stone for women to use and destroy and bleed dry like the mosquitoes they are until until they can find the millionaire boyfriend that they can get knocked up by, and then take half their money and then live forever in Malibu with all of his money that he made that she took 50% of. This is and then that's what'll happen, right? And I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good. Honestly, if I was to be completely honest with you guys, I'd say that was bad. So what do we do about that, right? Or they get sucked into or they get sucked into like the right, like the far right, like actual far right. You'll see lots of these communities are just inhabited by men, and lots of them are just normal men. They were just normal men who felt sad, who felt like they needed a place, and lots of them get preyed on. Like this isn't new. This isn't controversial. I think we all know that young disaffected men get targeted by these sorts of like extremist groups and everything to help achieve their goals. They're just pawns. They just get picked up in pawns. That's the saddest part, is that they get sucked into a group that claims that they want to help them, and then they get used and abused as pawns and tools to further the gains of people higher up the food chain. And whether they die or get arrested for something that they did, or take their own lives because the suffering that they're going through life is just too much, we'll just get another one. They don't care about them as individual human beings who they want to help. They're just tools, right? And tools to, I don't know, shut down immigration because it's the freaking it's the immigrants getting in there. Tools to create like an ethno state because the Jews has arrived to I don't know, to inundate the world with terrible left-wing politics, I guess. So I think it's pretty bad. And I think feminism 100% has a place for men in it. I think just we need to talk more about it. And I think we need to get to a place where we really can help these guys out. Because I needed help too. Honestly, I felt that exact same way. 100%. Felt like I had no friends. I didn't really have a community to be a part of. It was really hard for me to make actual acquaintances and all those sorts of things. And don't even get me started with a lot of guys if like mental illness plays a part in it, like depression or severe social anxiety, stuff like that, and they turn to like poor means to try to fill those holes in that society has left for them. I think that's really sad. And lots of dudes get hurt, and I don't want people to get hurt. I want people to be happy. I want people to be really happy. How do I feel about the 1355 meme stuff? I don't know. It's kind of stupid. Anyways, pretty stupid, but okay. It's the internet. People are going to be stupid. That's just life. Oh shoot, my water. I spilled my water. I spilled my water. Do farts push the poop out? 100%. 100%. They also push the pee out, if you didn't know. Oh, thanks for the follow, Familiar Presence. I really appreciate that. It is 110% sword in the balls. Women wouldn't know that because they don't know our struggle, you know? Ever get your balls stuck in a trash compactor? Now that's pretty bad. Women talking about giving birth. I ain't never seen a woman get her balls stuck in a trash compactor or a paper shredder or a car door. Tell me about that. Tell me about that, femoid. Yeah, heck yeah, brother. Get that thing stuck in a zipper. You're never coming back. You're never coming back. You get all that teeth like you do from your first girlfriend. But yeah. What do you guys think? Give me your honest, yeah. Do that's a DIY circumcision right there. Give me your honest opinions on feminism and where men fit in that, because I want to make it better. I want to make people happy. I need to make sure I drink more water. I didn't drink too much water today. I really didn't. It's kind of sad. I drank some heavy cream today. Ultimately, feminism should make men and women equal. I believe. That's cool. That's good. That's a good thing. Men and women being equal, that's some good stuff right there. But I don't know, because I think just the word feminism, right, has been just sullied. And I think it 100% had the catalyst to that was from the Gamergate movement in general, right? And then you have these big like skeptic community voices coming out and making these crazy like anti-SJW, anti-feminist videos that were, crazy popular and crazy brain dead and super easy to get from point A to point B when you get to someone who's making literally no arguments and just yelling, and then you in your chair are like, well, being mean to men is bad too. I'll take my 500,000 views, please. Come on, that's really easy. Talk to me on Discord. I'll probably take Collins in like a little bit. Yeah, I don't think we should shout at each other. I think we should talk very calmly and very concisely to each other. Because I love you. I love you, okay? Remember that. No homo. But yeah, I think lots of men get the idea that feminism isn't made for them. Full homo pleaser, no accept. All right, buddy. I'll split the difference. All right, and I'll go 80% homo, and you can use the 20% non-homo to do something. Do with as you please. I think it's important that men feel validated and accepted into like actual feminism, right? And I don't want them to be feel like they're left behind. Oh, but like where I was going with like the whole anti-SJW, anti-feminism thing, right, is because just the word itself, feminism, has been completely destroyed. It's like back 20 years ago when no one wanted to call themselves a progressive, like after the Reagan era and the Bush era, no one wanted to call themselves like a liberal or a progressive. Those were two dirty words. Those were Horrible words. You say that, and then instantly brains turn off and like, what a piece of garbage. Get the heck out of here, liberal. We don't want anything to do with you. But now it's a word that's 100% coming back. People's willingness to self-identify as it is skyrocketed, especially with the millennial and Gen Z generation coming to fruition with their own political views. I expect feminism to come back as well, but I just think it needs to be in the hands of people who actually care. You know, everybody wants a label. Oh, 100%. Everybody wants a label. Everybody wants a label, and everybody wants to be a victim. Everybody wants to be a victim. Being a victim is super hot. It's super hot and fresh and funky today. Anybody, if given the chance, will make themselves like the ultimate victim of the universe. You know, everybody is out to get them. Everybody wants to be that. You get that in like super like tanky communist circles where the FBI is spying on literally every single one of them, and they're just one bad Discord private message away from the FBI, open up, and then they get dragged off to Gitmo, or it's the white nationalists like the JQers, the neo-Nazis, who are like, white people are the extreme, we are the true victims of the world, being destroyed by the duplicitous Jew and the mudskins. You know, it's just those guys, and they feel completely crushed and destroyed by society, and conservatives are being watched, and it's just another moment until Obama and Hillary Clinton kick the door down with actual Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein is back, and he's there with a 12-inch rainbow cock, ready to destroy your entire life. Yeah. It's the devilish octoroons and the Star of David kids ready to destroy your life. You know, everybody wants to be a victim. Everybody wants to be a victim. It's so nice. It's so tasty. It's beautiful, isn't it? So I just think we need to watch out. And I think men 100% have a place in feminism. I just think we need the right people to help carve it out and to make a path back to it. I think we lost our way. To make our path back to it and make actual men's issues right there on the forefront, equally alongside women's issues and trans issues and black issues and racial minority, speaking in the like US terms, racial minorities issues and religious minorities issues and all of these sorts of issues that all play together. I think we can all sit here together and help each other with these sort of problems. That's what I want. This is the world I want. This is the world liberals want. You know? So that's my thing. Yeah, the beautiful mudskin. I don't know. I see some of these Africans, right? And these Africans are like Christmas coal black, and they have like the perfect porcelain black skin. I think that's kind of cool. I think just like super smooth, blemishless like black skin is super cool. I don't know if you've ever seen it, like black models and everything. They're kind of cool looking, especially in black and white photos. Ooh. They look like a Rolls Royce. It's kind of crazy. Like white people in lots of film stocks look really, really good, and black people in like black and white or some other sort of film stocks as well, they look really good, especially with no blemishes. Jeez, is that really good? They're the weirdest. Listen, we're not gonna get into that, okay? UK, the suicide rate was 75%. I'm talking about, but I feel like women's issues are blown up on the carpet. I do think in a lot of circles, men's issues are pushed under the carpet or just not even talked about. You know, or some people even actively deny it. Well, very small minority of crazy rad femmes actively deny men's issues. But I think more people is just like a tacit, you know, not caring about men's issues. But yes, suicide rate 100% is higher for men, and I think we need to get into why that is, right? I think it's because of like men. A lot of men are trained from birth to be very unemotional, very emotionally unavailable. Hide their emotions. For a lot of them, it's extremely hard for us to make friends because we're really not. Yeah, bottling up your emotions. That's incredibly dangerous. Any sort of psychologist, we've been studying the human brain and like social conditions for such a long time, and any psychologist will tell you that's a one-way trip to ending your own life, brother. All right, that's a one-way ticket. Lots of people don't come back from that. They're just very skinny and gone in the face. I don't know. Some people, yeah. I don't know, like Icelanders, those guys are crazy, but mostly because they've just been inbreeding with the same 10 people for the last 1,000 years. My bad, not 300 years. It's been a little longer than that. But yeah, like bottling up your issues, that's a lot. Men who show any sort of like emotional sensitivity at all, and I'm not talking like super sensitive, like you stub your toe and cry, right? But if your relative or a close family member just straight up dies, right? You're supposed to just rush in there. Men being seen as expendable, showing your manliness by going and dying or something, fighting. Why is fighting and dying, like risking your life for your country, seen as the most manly thing to do? Like self-care is completely thrown out the window. Completely relying on yourself. No one can do that. We're community creatures. We need our community, but we're seen as people that don't need it, right? Oop, what was that? Freda, thank you so much for that follow. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Soccer in England, they're running a campaign called "It's Okay to Be Okay," and it's working. More men are talking about being more emotional. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's really good. I really love that. I remember there was this campaign here in the U.S. I'm not sure where it is, and I'm not sure where it's going, but I think it was Compton or something, where like in like the black like community, mental health is a really big problem. Yeah, that's great. And like taking the stigma out of things like being more emotionally open with like friends and family, that's great. Not being seen as you're a psychopath if you want to go to a therapist, that's amazing. I think that's great.